Today, we're visiting Guyette Farms. Mr. and Mrs. Guyette are going to show us their pumpkin patch and teach us how they grow pumpkins and gourds. Let's go down to the pumpkin patch.
Okay, well, we start in June and we plow the field, so it's completely brown dirt that's really smooth. It almost looks as smooth as like a beach, so there's no big clumps of rocks or weeds or anything. And then we take our planter through and we put seeds through and fertilizer, and we do that in June. And then our pumpkins take about 100 days to go from seed in the ground to pumpkins on the field. We look for the seed to come up and it'll look like two little leaves right above the ground, and that's how we know that plant is going to make it. And then they keep growing bigger and bigger, and depending on the kind of pumpkin it is, some of the vines get really, really long, and some of them are bush pumpkins, so they'll be like a big pile of leaves in a bush that the pumpkins grow on.
All right, here's how a pumpkin starts. When it just starts to come out and then it blooms and you see the little pumpkin behind it, and as it grows, then the bloom falls off and it starts to grow into a bigger pumpkin.
So when the vine grows really, really long, then the flowers, this is a blossom, and then eventually the baby little teeny tiny pumpkins start growing. They get bigger and bigger, and they still are green until they slowly turn orange. So the green vine means it is still growing. So when we see these green squiggles still green, then we know the plant is still growing a pumpkin. Once the vine dies and turns brown, and these little squiggles turn brown, we know the pumpkin is no longer going to grow, and it's time to pick. So the pumpkin will stay like this. It won't change colors, it won't grow any bigger because it's not connected to a living vine anymore. Eventually it will start to rot and decay and get all squishy. And all of the seeds in here then could be planted again to make and grow more pumpkin.
Even though they all start from a seed and they grow on a vine, there are many different kinds of seeds that grow different kinds of pumpkins and gourds. When you choose a pumpkin this fall, remember all the amazing things that happened as the pumpkin grew. Thank you, Guyette Farms, for teaching us all about how pumpkins grow.